Why do strange things always happen at the airport? Let's talk about it. So I'm leaving the airport. It was a pretty good run, just short of $30, and I got a $12 cash tip. The lady had a service dog with her. I was very respectful. I helped her get her bags in the car. I helped her get her bags onto the sidewalk at the airport. I was respectful of her and her service animal. And I think all of that probably led to my getting a relatively high, 30% well, more than that, cash tip of $12. And now I'm heading out, and I set my destination filter because there is a pretty good surge going on. There has been all morning. Some snow fell about, about half a foot, maybe a little less. And so there's a pretty healthy surge going on in the city of Milwaukee. And it's been steady. Normally, as you know, I don't chase the surge, but this one's been pretty steady. So I thought, I'll head up there. So I set my destination. And I got this message saying I have to leave the airport in order to activate my destination. So I am miles away from the airport, and that thing's not canceling. So I don't know if it's recognizing my destination filter or not. If I do get a ride, I want to get a ride into the city because that's the direction I want to go to. I want to take advantage of the surge. But on the other hand, when is it going to think I finally left the airport? This is just weird. As soon as I got away from the lot, away from the airport, I've been on the interstate now for a while. Certainly since I started talking to you, so it's been a couple minutes. So I'd imagine I'm 2 miles in. It still thinks I'm at the airport. Oh well, I'll check back, let you know what happened. Welcome everyone, Mark here from Uber Hints. So that's my story. By the time I got done recording that, I was 3 or 4 miles away from the airport and my destination filter kicked in. But why didn't it recognize that immediately? That really puzzles me. In fact, now that I think about it, why couldn't I use my destination filter when I'm picking up at the airport? Why do they put that restriction in place? Now, I guess there are some reasons. They had a full pickup lot. Maybe they didn't want people picking and choosing. They just wanted to go in the order of arrival and get people picked up at the airport and get them the heck out of there. I guess I can see that, kind of a clearinghouse. However, if they know some people are going north, south, west, you can't go east in Milwaukee because you'd go about a mile and you'd be in Lake Michigan. But I guess someone still might want to go in that direction, right? Why not give drivers that option? I don't understand why they put a restriction in place as to using the destination filter only when you're off airport property. Just kind of crazy. Now, as I said, I did have a support animal in my vehicle. I know a lot of you probably have questions on that. We've done a lot of videos on it, so I'm not going to talk in general terms. However, you probably get the emails like I do. I just got one today that talks about service animals, and if you reject a ride because someone has a service animal, you could be breaking the law and you will get kicked off the platform. Now, having said that, this was not a service animal. This was a support animal. And there is a difference. A service animal is typically employed to help people with specific tasks, like seeing eye dogs. A support animal could just be emotional support. Someone has anxiety and it helps them get past the anxiety. Now, I don't know if anyone is more or less important. The service animals seem to be more important, but I suppose if you're a person that has that anxiety, that animal could be really, really important to you. However, I don't believe that the American with Disabilities Act covers emotional support animals, only service animals. Correct me if I'm wrong. I had another really, really weird ride today. It didn't, I shouldn't say it put me on edge or maybe nervous or uncomfortable, mostly because it was daytime and I really knew the area well. However, this young man got in my car. had headphones on, and I greeted him, completely ignored me. Got in the car, so I said, fine. I kind of ignored him and just concentrated on my driving. I got to the destination, which was community college. And there's an area there where it goes in a little circle. When I say a little circle, on one side of it's kind of an oval on one side, maybe enough parking for half a dozen cars. That was full, and then there was like a bus because the field house right there letting off. And then there was another fine arts building right ahead of me, and it just made a little circle. And I said, where would you like to be dropped off? Because it was snowing. There was snow on the ground. I didn't want to make the kid trudge through snow. And he just kind of pointed. So I took that as, okay, he wants me to go to the next place. And I pulled up a little further. Well, now you got to go around the circle. He was not telling me anything. He was just pointing. With this just stoic look in his face. I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from that. And, well, now you got to go around. All right. So I went back around. Is this where you want me to drop you off? Yeah. I got out of the car and walked away. Just bizarre, so I don't know. I think people expect a lot. I didn't look at my rating if I got rated by him, but I think people just do weird things. What's wrong with just communicating like a human being? Just being friendly, right? All right, I'd like to look a little bit at viewer mail. I had some viewer mail the other day, and I don't know what happened to it, so I just went over some other ones that I found kind of interesting. We talked about the mileage in a few videos back, about the new mileage rate being 58 cents a mile. People were really confused on that. And I have to admit, there are a few points I'm still a little unsure of, because like any government body, the IRS often isn't sure themselves. But one of the things that people were saying is, well, there was a video, and someone commented to me about that. And this was not one of my videos. It was over at Harry Campbell's channel. And supposedly he had a tax professional who said, no, you cannot count that first ride of the day getting to that pickup. Once you get to that pickup, you can start counting rides. And there's been a point of dispute. And we did get one of our viewers, Deborah, said, I'm a tax preparer, licensed, and if your appointment is on, you're working. So you can count your first ride. And someone else kind of clarified that too and said, well, if you're going to an office, that's one thing, but when you are going to pick someone up, that is your specific work responsibility, specific work duty. That, you're in our case, in other words, they were saying our home base is not an office building, it's our home. When we have to leave our home to go pick up a client, meet a client, drive them somewhere, that mileage from our base of employment, our office space, to that person counts. That made sense to me. And I think being backed up by Deborah saying if your appointment is on, you're working. So if the start of the day, in other words, if you turn on your app and you say, well, I'm just going to head downtown because that's where good rides are, you can't count that. But if someone pings you downtown, so you drive from your home and you're heading to the ping, you can count that. That's the way I interpret it. I think it's pretty reasonable. So I guess the upshot is, in my mind, you can correct me if you want, I'm going to sit at home until I get my first ping, because then I can count the miles driving there. If I start driving without that first ping, that's when we get into the gray area. There were also lots of suggestions about different apps. I suggested the Stride Drive app. I like it. I still have it listed down below if you're interested, but a lot of other people suggested other apps. And I think that's really great, because I think this is really what the channel is about. It's about people jumping in and helping each other. And I would encourage you, if you're looking for a good app and you don't like Stride Drive is free. Try it out. Why not? As I said, if you use my link, I think I get a referral fee of like $5. I don't know. I don't think it ever showed up, but for sake of transparency, I'll tell you that. But it looked like there were a lot of other suggestions back there for different apps, and I thought they all sounded good. So go back and you can look at the comments and pick one. Now, I made a comment that you cannot use mileage, that 58 cents a mile, and take deductions at the same time. Because that mileage encapsulates everything that supposedly is included in expenses. In other words, it takes into account your gas, your oil changes, wear and tear on your tires, depreciation, insurance. All that stuff is contained in that 58 cents. Now, again, I said some cars are going to be more, cheaper than that, some more expensive, but that's what the government allows. And someone said, so Mark, are you saying if I claim 58 cents, I cannot claim the $300 dash cam and the $35 phone cords? No, I'm not saying that at all. Because the dash cam and the phone cords are unrelated to the expense of operating your vehicle. What you cannot deduct if you take the mileage rate, what you cannot deduct are other expenses related to operation of the vehicle. You can't double dip. Right? If you're going to take the 58 cents, that's all you do. You don't have to do all that other stuff, right? You don't have to track the vehicle cost, the maintenance and gas and all that, because that's included. But if you want to count all of that, then you can't take the 58 cents. You can't double dip, but you can still deduct things unrelated to operating expenses of your vehicle. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now, I'm not a tax professional. I'm going to throw that out there. But I have been self-employed for a long time, and that's always worked for me. Now, the video. What were these drivers thinking? They were doing the hijinks, shenanigans, tomfoolery, and horseplay. They were slapping female riders' bottoms. Of course, the female riders are being wholly inappropriate too by sticking their bottoms into the front seat. They were making out on camera with passengers. I mean, it was, I felt like I was at a Roman orgy. Toga! Toga! Ed said, surely it's reasonable for Uber to make a quick call to the previous rider. Now, in that one, what he was referring to is a New Zealand driver who, people got in the car, can I take my open intoxicant? The driver said yes. Passengers left their open intoxicant. I wouldn't do that. New Zealand, it's legal to drive with beer in your car. So, all right. Lucy, the driver, saw that they had left a beer, so she took the beer, brought it up, put it in her cup holder up front. Next passenger got in, smelled beer, saw an open bottle, reported it, as my driver appeared to be drinking. All right. So Ed said, surely it's reasonable for Uber to make a quick call to the previous rider. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Uber's not going to do it probably, but that would be very reasonable. Why not call the rider and say, hey, we have a driver that's being accused of drinking and driving. Here's their story. Is that true? Did you leave a half, consumed bottle of beer? You'd get to the bottom of it really quickly. Of course, they would say that with, that funny New Zealand accent. Okay, I don't want to hear from all the New Zealanders. I know to you, your accent is not funny. Mine is. Well, sometimes my accent's funny to people here in the States too. James Broom, he just made me laugh. I'm not even going to comment on anything specific. He left about 5 comments. He was watching the video and typing up comments, and he was saying, oh, now at 10 minutes this happened. Now at 15 minutes this happened. It just made me laugh. That he was commenting as he went through the video. Perry the Man said, man, you are boring. And Dwayne Jensen agreed with him. I don't know. They watched the whole video.
Bueller, 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 Bueller.
Here.
Bueller, Bueller, Bueller.
Here.
Bueller, 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 Bueller.
Here.
Bueller.
And Stormy Lan said, but I have a question about the people that smoke weed. I have so many people get in my car, smoke weed. I think I want them out of my freaking car.
Hey, man, you want to get out and walk, man?
They're just like drowning in the weed.
Mostly Maui Wowie, man.
Yeah?
I don't think that's to say they're smoking weed in the vehicle. But you know, that just stays with them. I don't think people who smoke, whether, you know, they smoke pot or they smoke cigarettes, realize how bad that smell is to people who don't smoke. It just jumps out at us. And people, I don't know how kids can think they can get away with smoking and then sneak it back in the house and, you know, because they took a breath mint. Because smoke just stays with you. It permeates you. So anyone who's a smoker, regardless of what it is you're smoking, you're not fooling us. You're not getting away with it. So that's it for today. Love to hear your comments down below. What's happening at your airport? Love to hear it. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. And as always, please subscribe and click the, where is it? I always forget where it's going to be when we're watching this. But I think it's going to be up there. The bell icon, you click on that, and it is going to inform you, notify you when I post a new video. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Mark with Uber Hints.